And welcome to Mondays with Maury, with me, Maury Elvington of Morph, where I help you feel safe and seen in your body. Today's segment is going to be a little story about me and why conventional therapy and medication didn't work for me and what I did instead. So if this is the first time you're watching me live, welcome to my world. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm excited that you are listening. If this is catching you, kind of like in the middle of your day or maybe in your morning, maybe you can take a few minutes and just tune in and see what awarenesses you can receive today from this live. Throughout this live, if you feel like somebody that you know, somebody that you love, you feel like they can really benefit from this information, this can really shed some light on something they've been through, and you feel like it could really benefit them, I would love for you to share and then tag me so I can thank you for sharing, because I really appreciate it. The only way we can heal and support each other is by really sharing, loving, commenting on the work that we do. I mainly do this because I've suffered so much in my life, and my goal is to really help as many people as I can feel safe and seen and feel good in their bodies, because I do believe that the more of us feel good, the more of us can connect together, and the better this world is going to be on so many different levels. So first of all, I'm just happy that you're here. So just take a deep breath in and breathe out and really sink into your body. And one more breath in and breathe out. Just letting go. Even if your day just started and it's early in the morning where you are, just let everything you took on when you woke up in the morning, just let that go, right? Sometimes we wake up and we have all this stuff in our head. What if you could let all of that go now too? Just one more breath in and breathe out. Really relaxing into your body, connecting to your body, acknowledging your body and how amazing it is for everything it's gone through, for everything it is going through, and everything that is maybe coming up for you right now. What if you could just release all that, let it go? What if you didn't have to carry it with you any longer? So I'm going to share this story with you about my own personal experience, and I hope it will help you kind of reconnect the dots for yourself. So when I was young, 6, my parents got divorced. 9, my dad passed away. Between those ages, I experienced some sexual abuse stuff, and then also into my teens. And I was very lucky to have a very strong-willed mom, amazing mom, that really right away, even before my parents got divorced, I was in therapy, I was in counseling. Growing up, I was diagnosed with ADHD, so I was on medication for that for a while. My mom tried to change the diet when I was in 2nd grade, like changing the food we ate. It was very resistant because as a kid, you want to eat chocolate, you want to eat sugar. It was a very hard, transformation, which actually created some food things for me later on in life. We can talk about that in a different segment. But overall, I was in therapy probably since I was 6 years old until I was about 17 or 18 years old, off and on. I actually learned to use therapy as a means to blackmail my mom to let me do stuff. I know, it's that great. I knew exactly what she wanted me to say, what I needed to say, what she wanted to hear in order to get what I wanted from her. So she's a teenager, if I wanted to go to a party, I'll be like, fine, I'll go to therapy if you let me go to this party, So what I want to say is that my healing journey, even though I went to therapy for so long, never really started until I was about 17, and I started doing energy work. My mom was a healer, but because of the mom-daughter dynamic, I didn't really ever let her work on me. I was very in and out, but she had a mentor that started giving me healings, and that's when stuff really started to shift. And passing forward a few years, when I was about 21 years old, I took my own first class, diving into energy work, healing work. I've always been really in tune, right? I was that kid that all her friends came to her for advice, opened tarot cards. I had all the different cards, the angels cards, the mermaid cards. And so I was always in tune with my angels, my higher self. But there was a very big disconnect between me and my body. And I knew this because I knew that every time I talked about the stuff I went through, I had no issue talking about what I went through. I was that disconnected from it that I didn't feel it in any way. And it wasn't until later on when I realized, when I started working with other women and starting working with clients and doing classes and retreats, that every person I encountered that came to me for healing was disconnected from their body. And you know that saying that you experience something that shakes your soul out of your body? Like people say that about an accident, like they go through an accident and they feel like their soul leaves their body. Okay, people go into surgery and they feel like their soul leaves their body. Some people go to sleep at night, they feel their soul leave their body. Well, when you experience trauma, the soul leaves your body. And what happens is, now the body isn't a safe place to be in. And so the soul doesn't want to come back. And so what I do with women, especially, but also men, is make your body feel safe again. So you can actually come back into your body and bring back those pieces of you that left, because beyond just your soul leaving, okay? So if you experience any kind of sexual trauma, which a lot of women in our reality have experienced, we disconnect from the parts of us that were hurt as well. That's why so many women feel numb. They don't want to have sexual relations. They have painful intercourse. Okay, it's because a lot of us experience trauma and we disconnected from our body, and then our body parts also disconnected. And what I do in my work is I make your body feel safe again. Now, how do you know if you experience trauma? Because what happens is, a lot of times we experience stuff in a young age or even in early teens. And the experience was so intense that we forget it. We tuck it away. We don't even know it happened. But then what happens when you are around something that triggers a memory? Okay, and that's why this is called a cellular memory. It's a memory that's held in your cells. That's why you suddenly feel anxiety. You suddenly feel fear. You suddenly feel anxious. Maybe you're sweating. Maybe you're biting your nails. Okay, this is your body's way to tell you, hey, there is something here that's triggering you. What is it that's triggering you? Let's look at it. Let's heal it. Anxiety is almost like your body's alert system. You know how we have alert systems in the house and like an animal comes up and the light turns on. But then if something comes in closer, the alarm goes off. This is the same thing with your body. When you experience trauma, your body creates an alarm system. And now this alarm system is constantly activated. The thing is that when you deal with energy work, there's no like black or white, and there's a lot of in between, right? I worked with women that never experienced sexual trauma, but their mom has. And then here they are coming into this world, in this womb, that experienced trauma. And so as babies, we're just little sponges. We take all that with us and we come into the world with it. I think my last podcast episode with Sarah, she talks about this. This happened to her. So many times the healing we do is healing on babies in the womb. Because when you were a baby in the womb, you were listening to everything. You were there, even if we're not there in physical form outside of the womb, right? And so if you experience trauma while you were in the womb, you will not remember this, but you will carry the imprint of this with you, okay? And so a lot of us come into this world and we think that we were just born this way. And we think that we are just like this. Oh, I just have anxiety. I just have OCD, right? I just have ADD. Now, to a point, these are special traits that we have. I call them superpowers. I believe that they're a gift that we can work with to create the life that we want to have. And it's actually empowering. It's not to working, it's for working for you, not against you, right? And so what I want to say is that if you are getting these alert systems from your body and you are feeling disconnected and you are feeling anxious and you're not sleeping good at night and you're not having the great relationship that you want to have and your connection with money isn't great and you just feel like there's something there that hasn't clicked yet. You know how maybe some pieces of your puzzle, like if you can imagine your life as a puzzle and all the pieces kind of fitting in. You know, if there's some pieces that you just don't seem to fit quite in, maybe that's the relationship piece, maybe it's the money piece, maybe it's your body piece, right? Which will affect everything overall. That's why I call my program the Diamond Effect, because it's not just one thing. We can't just work on one thing and expect everything to shift. Because if you're unhappy and you get a bunch of money, you're not going to be happy. If you are super unhappy, you're not going to find the person that you want to be with in the rest of your life. If you're already married and you have a great relationship, but you haven't dealt with your inner stuff, it's going to interfere with your marriage. I share a lot about this, okay? Especially as a kid that grew up to divorced parents and that lost a father. I definitely had a lot of stuff that had to deal with me in order to have the relationship I wanted to have, okay? I share a bunch of my lives on that. You can go back and check. But my point is if there's a missing piece that you haven't dealt with and it doesn't feel balanced, it's because there's something there that needs your attention. And that's why I call it the Diamond Effect, because it's your mind, body, soul, source connection. It creates a diamond. And when you connect all the dots, a lot of us think that it's a triangle. Mind, body, soul. But we forget the source. The source is the main key here, because you're the source. And if you're disconnected from your source, nothing is going to shift what you're going through. So you can go to therapy and you can take medication and you can eat right and you can change your diet and you can exercise. But until you come back to your body, until you really connect back to your body, I don't see it shifting. And I know this because I've done this work for over 18 years. But the minute you connect a person back to their body, stuff starts to shift. I was working with a client, Alex. You can hear her raving review. We had one session. It was a trade. She was amazing. And the stuff that's been showing up for her, even after our session, we're talking a few days later. Every day she's been texting me about the stuff that's showing up. She's amazed. And it's not because it wasn't me. It was her choosing to show up. It was her choosing to come and have a session and let her walls and barriers down and connect to her body. And until you choose that, until you choose you, I don't know what is going to shift for you on your end, but I'm hoping that you get that awareness. And so what can you do to start feeling more connected to your body? You can start being aware of those alarm systems, okay? When are you feeling anxiety? What situation are you feeling anxiety in? What's coming up for you? When do you feel anxious? When do your palms get sweaty? What is happening? What is going on? Start asking questions. Okay, why am I feeling like this? What is going on right now with my body? What would it take to change this? Start getting awarenesses. This is the reason I created Pocket Therapy. Pocket Therapy is an amazing tool that you can use on the go. When you feel these emotions, I literally lead you through a process to help you identify where you're holding on to the anxiety in your body and how to release it. That's why it's so powerful, because I don't just tell you to deal with it, and I don't just give you a pill. I don't just listen to you talk about what you're going through. I can do that, but that's not going to benefit you in any way. I help you connect. I help you feel safe. And I bring you back to you. So just take a deep breath and breathe out. And get the energy of that. What would it feel like if you could really be you? What would it feel like if your body was really safe? What would it feel like to really connect to who you are and not have any shame about it? What would you create in your life? What would your body look like? What would you feel like? What would your relationships be like? What would you do for a living? So just tune into the energy of that, because that's so much lighter and it's so much more open, and it gives you all the possibilities. Okay? And that's what I wish for you. So thank you for being here. You are here for a reason. You're listening to me right now because something and what I'm saying is clicking for you. So start paying attention. I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. You can schedule a free consultation. I really am here to help you as much as I can to be back and come back to who you really are and who you came here to be. Okay? Have a wonderful week. Happy Monday. Enjoy this gorgeous day. I hope you have a fun time with whatever it is that you're doing today. And remember to just ask yourself, if I was being truly me today, what would I choose? What would I be? What would I be doing? And listen to the answers. I adore you, and I hope to see you in person one day. Bye.